Hi folks, I have your latest luxury report for week ending April 7th. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. Now this report deals with properties sold or listed at a minimum of $3 million, so $3 million plus, and it deals with the City of Toronto and York region. Those are the two areas I'm focusing on there. Do me a favor, take a second, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you're reminded when these videos come up. This way you won't miss. I've got some really interesting data for you. Okay, so if you're joining us for the first time, I'm going to explain real quick. I have close to 8 months here broken down on a weekly basis. And again, this is for the City of Toronto, York region, for properties sold on this particular chart, sold for a minimum of $3 million or more. So when we look at average sold price, we've got to be careful how we I guess analyze the numbers. It's really easy to see and normal to see fluctuations on a weekly basis, just because of the purchase price of these properties. So one week we can have 2 or 3 properties selling, say between 10 and 15 million, and the previous week not have those properties selling at that high of a number. Well, what you'll get then is a huge fluctuation in average sold price week over week. So what I tend to look at is more of the trend, the overall trend. And when we look at over the last 8 months, it kind of shows that average sold price is pretty steady. You're not drawing a line going up or down. It's kind of going straight across. So it's been pretty steady over the last 8 months, average sold price for the luxury market. But what's really interesting when I look at sales. Now for last week, we sold 22, which has come down by half from the previous week. And I kind of relate that to, because it's unusual that sales dropped that much right now as we're heading into the spring. We're expecting sales to go up, and the market is super strong right now. Well, that week ending April 7th, our Easter break was in the middle of that. We were told that we've got a new stay-at-home orders. Families are gearing up for the spring break that was supposed to be in March and is now in April. There's so many different things that have happened that I just think have put a little bit of a speed bump. I do expect volume sales to be picking up in the luxury market over the next week or so again. But if we go just before that, where we sold 53 in a week, and then the previous week 53 properties again at $3 million or more, 53 is double than where we were on some of our best weeks last year. Now, if you recall, September, October, November, we were doing great. I mean, all the headlines were saying how unbelievable the real estate market is doing. And now we've recently doubled those sales. So the market's really strong when it comes to volume in the luxury market. This chart here compares the average sold price to last year. The blue is last year's price. The burgundy is this year's price. It's really tricky to compare it to last year's price at this point for a couple reasons. One is, for the second half of March last year, we were in our very first lockdown. So it's really difficult to compare to what happened this time last year, because this year, well, we kind of still are in a lockdown, but it's just a little bit different. We're used to now, and I guess more comfortable dealing with this whole health crisis. However, when we look at the blue here, it kind of looks like average sold price was so much higher. And I need to go to the next slide to tell you that it really wasn't so much higher, but last year at this time, we were only selling 12, 5, 4 units. So one sale a little bit higher really easily brings up the average sold price. So let's not really focus on comparing it to last year. But when we look at sales, we are way outpacing. I'm going back here since the beginning of the year, January. The burgundy is this year's sales. All year so far, we are way ahead of last year's pace when it comes to the amount of properties being sold at $3 million or more. Of the 22 that were sold, 46% of them sold at list price or more. So there's still competition. I know when you hear the headlines of the detached, and I do reports, you'll see these on my YouTube channel, on some of my other videos. The detached and the condos, they're at 60, 70, 80% being sold at list price or more. Lots of action, almost 70, 80% of those are sold with multiple offers. Well, in the luxury field, it's happening almost half in this particular week. 46% sold at list price or more. And if you're wondering, have prices really gone up? Because I've been saying how steady they are. Prices have actually gone up when it comes to the luxury market. Let me give you an example. So this particular house was sold in Lawrence Park South. A little bit of a history. This house was first listed for just under $5 million May of last year. So beginning of spring last year, May, was listed for just under $5 million. After 123 days, no sale. Then it was relisted in the fall, in September 2020. Remember, the market was strong. Again, for the same price, just under $5 million. And after 78 days, no sale. Then it was relisted this year. And after 7 days, and it was relisted at the same price, just under $5 million, and after 7 days, sold over asking by $206,000. Third time's a charm, I guess. But the same house, same price, couldn't sell last year. This year sold more than what they were listed at, and the listing price didn't change. So the market basically has come up to where this price was where this home was listed at. Here's another example of how competitive it can be. Now, this is not all homes in the luxury market, but some homes very competitive. So this property here by York Mills and Bayview area, it was listed for just under $4 million, and in one day sold for $214,000 over asking. The buyer wanted to buy. There was some competition. When a good property comes on the market and multiple people want it, there's going to be competition. And not for every property, but for close to half of the luxury market, this is what's happening. Let's take a look at listings. Now, this is really something that I find quite interesting. We're expecting listings as we go into the summer months, into the warmer months. We're expecting listings to increase. But so far, for the month of March, listings have been coming down every single week, where last week we only listed 11 properties at $3 million or more. So this is something to keep an eye out. And the fact that there's 487 active listings means there's lots of inventory to choose from. Now this chart is the months of inventory. Months of inventory, if you're joining us for the first time, is the relationship between supply and demand. Anything below 4 months of inventory is called a seller's market. Between 4 to 6 months of inventory is a balanced market, and over 6 months is a buyer's market. Well, for this particular week, April 7th, we're sitting at 4.8 months of inventory. So some properties, lots of competition like I just illustrated. Other properties, we have time to negotiate a great price. Let me show you some of the what I found, some of the more interesting listings that are on the market right now in the luxury field. So this property here is by Bayview and Steeles. It's in Markham. It's a gated property, nice lot in the city, 145 feet by 286 feet. It's listed at almost $6 million. Beautiful, newer property. This here is also in Markham. It's in the Devil's Elbow area. A lot more space now. We're looking at 1.7 acres. In all, there's about 9,500 square foot of living space, and this is listed at $5.5 million. Incidentally, if you want to see any of these properties, give me a call. I'll set up a private tour for these or any other property that you're interested in looking at. Look at this one here. And this is in the St. Andrew area by Bayview, north of York Mills. This is a double lot. There's not too many that are double lots. It's 3/4 of an acre, this lot. Has an indoor pool, has a tennis court. There's about 13,000 square feet of living space, listed at $8.8 million. Beautiful indoor pool there. They've done it really nice. Sometimes we see some of these homes with the indoor pools and you know it just needs a lot of work. This is stunning. Here's a beautiful, beautiful foyer. This property is in King City, so we're moving north a little bit here. This is a newer home built in 2019. It's 8,000 square feet of living space, 5 bedrooms, 8 baths, and it's listed for just under $5 million. $4,795,000. Beautiful foyer. You're looking for more space? Here's 12 acres in King City, listed for $3.5 million. This one, my favorite. So if you're looking for space and a beautiful, beautiful home, well, this, in all, there's about 20 acres here. There are 2 residences. Both residences have their own private pool, and there's a big lake here. The lake alone is about 4 acres, so lots of space here. 20 acres, 4-acre lake, 2 residences here. You can have this for just under $13 million. It's an amazing, amazing spot. Over here, I've got a picture of, there's a gate right here coming into all this. And this is obviously the principal residence right here. Here's a couple of close-ups of the principal residence. Just stunning, stunning, stunning place here. And here it is from the back. I hope you enjoyed this report. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. Again, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're reminded when these videos come up. Share this with anybody you feel that can benefit from knowing these numbers. And if you need any kind of assistance or help or want just to ask questions real estate related, please give me a call. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. Have a great day.